Okay, first thing is presentations and proclamations. We have a presentation from our Planning Commission. Probably want to turn that microphone on, Preet. There you go.
See, I haven't been on this side. I'm always over there. Good evening, everyone, members of the City Council as well as members of the public. Thank you for being here and thank you for having us here. I'm here to represent the Planning Commission tonight, and the reason we're here is just to go over roles and responsibilities of the Planning Commission. In addition to, we attended an annual Planning Commission conference earlier this year. Wanted to go over some of the topics that were discussed there and some of the new concepts that we'd like to go ahead and implement here and move forward. So, now I haven't used this clicker, so bear with me. No. Might help if I turn it on, huh? Okay. So what does the Planning Commission do? Let me begin with, here's an idea of what other commissions do. We have the Parks and Rec Commission, we have the Senior Commission, we also have the Youth Commission and so forth. This is their description of what they do. It's very broad and kind of a visionary role and duty. Going back to the Planning Commission, ours is pretty short and sweet. We basically follow the law. There's state planning laws, there's city laws, and there's just delegated laws within that we have to look at and analyze when we get development projects presented to us. So basically our role as a Planning Commission is to be an advisor to the City Council on land use and planning issues. We are here to ensure that the future development in Yuba City improves the quality of those who live here, play here, work here, and so forth. So, we do this by using several tools that are already given to us through City Council, and some of those are the general plans, zoning ordinances, master plans, growth policies, and so on. We have a full list here. When we attended the annual conference, which I want to take this moment to say thank you on behalf of the Planning Commission to give us the opportunity to go get some continued training for new commissioners. It's a great venue to learn, to network with other commissioners who have been there for a while. For us who have been here for quite some time, I've been here for over 10 years. For me, it was a great opportunity to learn and get new ideas, and it's like continued education for us who have been here for a while and kind of revive what we do. So some of the conference topics that we heard about that, it was a 3-day conference. So some of those were just the basic roles and responsibilities of what the planning commissioners do. And again, it was a great venue for the new commissioners. For us old folks there, we got kind of a new concept and kind of a better insight of what we do and kind of brought us back to why we're here. There were other interesting topics such as modern technology tools. Everything's about technology these days. My daughter actually asked me at the beginning of the school year what was the difference between wide-ruled and college-ruled paper. That's how far technology has taken us. The kids don't even know what this paper is anymore. So we discussed some of the technology ideas. There was also the hot topic of marijuana dispensaries. And so we had different cities and counties discuss what they've done and what they haven't done and the pros and cons there. We had CEQA, basic and advanced training opportunities. We discussed city finance updates. There was also the interesting topic of joint planning commission along with the city council. From these topics, the Planning Commission got together and we did a little bit of a discussion of what kind of information we took away from the conference and what we would like to implement and get approval to continue with here and maybe become a more efficient commission and be a little bit more proactive. So some of the ideas and tools that we would like to incorporate from this conference was to enhance our communication amongst the public with development projects that come about, and also the possible joint city council and planning commission meetings, and more of workshops. And those would be to discuss bigger ideas, goal-setting sessions, major project coordination, and regional development amongst surrounding jurisdictions. So what we looked at is how are we going to incorporate these workshops. So our recommendation would be, it is a little bit slower economically right now, so we do have 2 regularly scheduled planning commission meetings per month, and our recommendation is that we use one of those sessions, because a lot of times we don't have any agenda items or very few, and we'd like to take that opportunity to use those as workshop nights and have our wonderful staff, planning staff, Aaron and whoever he can pull, to provide us information and do a little bit more of the continued education, and especially for new commissioners. And this is to be cohesive and understand and be able to look at all the projects with the same eye, same techniques. So some of those workshop topics would be zoning ordinance, general plan, sign ordinance, CEQA review, and the list goes on. And these were just some samples that we used. And the fun one is that we would like to bring back the Commission Design Award. And we think this would be a great incentive. I remember back in 2006, 7, and I think 8. I think some of us were present doing those. We used to present the plaques to very high quality design projects that would come into our town. We think that would be a great incentive to ensure that every project we look at is the highest, utmost quality for this community. One of the examples would be like the pharmacy on Walton and Franklin would probably be one of our awardees at this point. The other thing that we would like to get going is the study sessions with other city commissions, just to kind of get a better understanding of what we all do, and we're all looking for, you know, the quality of the community, but how do we all play that piece? What do we do? What's our part? And how we can probably overlap some of those ideas. So we would like to probably look into doing something like that. I think that does it for our presentation. So those are some of our recommendations, and we'd like to implement those and become more of an effective planning commission and be proactive and produce the best community that we can.
Great.
So if you have any questions, I'll be...
Any questions for Preet?
Preet, you mentioned the workshop where they discussed the joint City Council and Planning Commission meetings, good or bad. So I presume by your second slide that it was something that you felt was a good idea, or they indicate was a good idea to do that. Did they talk about like once a year, or was it?
Well, we talked about any major development projects or things that are coming around in surrounding jurisdictions that we may want to discuss. So it would be kind of like on call, you know, depending on what kind of development, major issues that are going on. Most of the communication that was going on through that conference, it was pretty positive, and as we discussed it as a commission, we thought it would be good because we see where the City Council is headed on certain things, and we would like to hear that out. And so when we're looking at development of a big project, we kind of know what we're looking for.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Preet.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're up to, let's see here, what do we got going on?